Good day. Congratulations. You're on week 3, session 3. This is authority activation. This is a very important part of the Podcast Academy because if you can't activate your authority, you're leaving opportunity on the table. Let me explain. All right. High performance coaching is a mindset, it's a framework, and it's intended to give you that push, to challenge you, to get you out of your comfort zone. Nobody ever accomplishes anything of significance in their comfort zone. And getting in front of the camera, writing your book, being a part of a collaborative magazine, get in front of the camera, doing your podcasting, that can take courage. And if you let fear grow and you let courage shrink, you won't get the most out of you because it's all about you. Now, we're going to talk about clarity and energy, but more importantly, it's your authority. Because when you look at your authority, this is why it's so important, because being a key person of influence is what we do. Daniel Priestley says it best. Get this book because understanding this concept and why you can be a key person of influence by pushing, by getting out of your comfort zone, by getting in front of a camera, putting yourself out there. Because for people to know you in a digital profile, you got to put your content out there. And not just one podcast. You got to put enough out there to handle the strategy of a 7-11-4. 7 hours, 11 buying signals, 4 different platforms. A platform can be a book, can be a magazine, can be a podcast, can be a digital course, can be your social profile, can be your LinkedIn profile. It could be an assessment. It could be a waiting list. It's when people raise their hand and say they're interested. Unless you understand the 11 part of it, you're going to be so distracted and you got to be super focused because your authority will establish you in the days ahead, the weeks ahead, the months ahead. We're in incredibly opportunistic time. The best time to be alive is today. And if you can understand authority and activating it, because once you activate it, you're activating your digital profile. We talk about the pitch. That's another session for another day, but we have plenty on that on our YouTube channel. But what you have to do, you have to get used to pitching short, concise, information driven, where people are curious. When you write a book, you're not looking to write a novel. You're not looking to write your memoirs. You're writing a book so people can get to know you, like you, and trust you. And we have formulas for that. We have the 12 P's. That's where you have to focus on to write your book. So you can write it by yourself using the 12 P's. My partner has a workbook that this is incorporated into. We have coaches that will help you. We have Book Magic, which will help you. Each might cost you something, but it's an investment in you. You're the best investment you could ever make in your life. Nothing's close. So when you're establishing your authority, you have to have a strategy. That's why we have Podcast Academy. That's why we have high performance coaching, because to be coached is to challenge you, to push you, to get you out of your comfort zone. I had a person early on, I could tell when people are afraid to be in front of the camera. They'll say something like, "It's not my thing. I'm just not into that." What they're telling me is, I'm scared. I'm scared. Or somebody will say, what if I say the wrong thing? Is the world going to come to an end? Of course not. You can't say the wrong thing if you're speaking from the heart and you're being transparent. We're not here. People on podcasts are not generally, I'm sure there's somebody out there that want to gotcha. Oh, he said this like a 60-minute time when they take all your words and they form it to how they want it to come out. We want your story to come out. We want you to be transparent. We want people to get to know you so they can like you, trust you, and do business with you. So this is all about activating your authority, and you do it in a book. We do it in a magazine too, because when you can put an asset like a magazine and you're on the cover of the magazine and you have 20 of your strategic partners in the magazine. So when you're presenting, not only are you presenting you as an authority because you're on the cover, you're presenting your team. The ideal prospect gets you and your team. So that raises your authority. You're bringing more value to your ideal prospect. And we do it by podcasting, putting their story in a magazine so people can know you, like you, and trust you. But more importantly, we coach you, high performance certified coaching. When you look at this framework, high performance focal points, that's where it starts. We get your goals down, we get you clear. Then you get into clarity. You got to be crystal clear of where you're going. You got to have the energy, because if you're a high performer, it's going to require an energy level that you maybe never experienced, but you got to have a strategy to get that energy. You got to be able to take care of fear. The opposite of fear is courage. Faith is over here with courage. If you let fear of the camera, you let fear that, what if I put myself on the cover of that magazine and people don't like it? So what? Are they going to be the ones supporting you? No, of course not. You look for people that are, we call them allies, not people that don't want you to succeed. We want people that will tell you the truth, help you, push you, assist you. And a coaching certified high performance coach like myself and our community, we're going to go through this framework. So you're going to learn about courage. You're going to understand productivity, your influence, psychology mastery, physiology mastery, productivity mastery, purpose, persuasion mastery, purpose mastery, and then your commitment to a life of high performance, of personal development. This is by Brendan Bouchard, the best in the world. That's what Growth Day is. So you want support? You want a community to support you through this? Growth Day. 4 out of 5 of the world's best are in Growth Day. 4 out of 5. You have access to them. You have access to Mel Robbins. You have access to Ed Milet. You have access to Jamie Lee. I forget these names. Just know that they're the best. You can try it for 7 days. 7 days. Try something. See if it doesn't move you. See if it doesn't get into your heart how important that coaching is for you to be a high performer, to be an authority, to activate your authority. This strategy will set you free, because today it's getting crazy out there. AI, all these things going on. You have to be a leader. You have to be your authority. You have to be thought of as the expert people turn to. Because if you establish your 7-11-4, 7 hours, you got to give people reason to know, like, and trust you. And if you're putting your content out there, you're putting your book, you're putting the magazine, you're putting your podcast, you're establishing authority. You're establishing you are the go-to person. When people search you, what do they find? Do you have a digital profile that communicates authority? If you do, you're in a great position for people to get to know you, like you, trust you. Used to be all these sales funnels was the big thing. Get them in your sales funnel. It's not that sales funnels don't work. They work. But why don't you establish a presence, a digital profile online? Why don't you create thousands of people that know you through your authority, through your book, through your magazine, through Substack, through the things that we're going to help you with, your podcast, your online courses. That's establishing your authority. The 4 is 4 different platforms. So it's not just, they can't see on one platform. It doesn't work. The brain doesn't work that way. It works around them. All of a sudden, clink, Robin Dunbar came up with the 7. When people see the 7, consume 7 hours of you, 11 buying signals, and 4 different platforms. He didn't do the 11, 4. 11 is the 0 moment of truth. And the 4 different platforms, they got to see you on different platforms. It's just how the brain works in a digital world. Look at the people you know. You've seen them on different platforms. You've consumed their content. You've gotten to know them. That's how I did it with Daniel Priestley. I first had a person, Christian Dorr, on my podcast. I said, how do you want people to reach out to you? He said, I have an assessment and newsletter. I said, oh, assessment. Interesting. So after the podcast, I took it as assessment. I had been hearing about Daniel Priestley. I've been hearing about waiting list, assessment, but it took different platforms to click in my brain. And when it did, I took it, my jaw dropped. I immediately got that. I immediately started getting more of his books. I have every book Daniel Priestley has written, from Entrepreneurial Revolution to Scorecard to what else? I'm trying to think. There's 5 of them. Entrepreneurial, digital, 24 assets. And these are assets we're talking about too. So I got him. I started consuming them. I've watched thousands of hours of his content. And that's how the journey starts. The guy hung the moon in my world because he's built 8 companies. He's done what he's talking about. He's totally aligned with how he is showing you and helping you build for the future. 7, 11, 4. First, you get your pitch, profile next, product, presentation, and partnership is the last one. The 5 Ps in that order. I've had a person, introduced a person to somebody, and for 5 minutes, she's just throwing up on this person. No interest whatsoever in what she was doing. People aren't interested like you are in what you're doing. When somebody says to me, Pete, what do you do? I generate leads, create cash flow, and build thriving communities. That's it. If they don't say anything, I say nothing. I will ask them about their business, what they do, what problems they solve. I'm going to be curious to find out what they do. But if somebody doesn't ask me an additional question, I don't keep talking about my podcasting, my books, my courses, and all the stuff that they have no interest in because they haven't showed interest in the first thing I said. That's how when people lean into you, like I'm leaning into you, they're leaning into you, they're interested in you. Then you can answer their question. Hey, how do you generate leads? We do it through podcasting, publishing, and building thriving communities. How do you build thriving communities? We do it through Substack, through our live events, through our virtual events, through our magazine, through the way we connect people. So they can have something that they can be interested in if they are. If they aren't, I don't sit there and just run my mouth, because that's when people shut down and leave. Got to get out of here. I'm trying to be sold. People want to sell themselves. And they do that by asking question, interested. That's why the 11 is there. So you have a framework, so we can coach you. And if you're interested in a strategy session, go to pkane.me/SS or even pkane.me. Schedule a strategy session. You want clarity in your life? You got to have a strategy. You got to know where you're going. Because if you're going to be the type of person that reacts to things, your distractions are going to just knock you off your game. You got to know where you're going. You got to be clear. You got to have the energy. You got to have the courage. You have to have productivity mastered. You have to have the influence. You have to have physiology, psychology, persuasion. You got to work on these. These are skills developed. And the framework that Brendon Burchard has put together is 20 plus years in the works. He's coached thousands of people, the highest level Olympic athletes, A performers, celebrities. He's currently coaching 4 billionaires. So those people can decide anybody they want. They have the resources and they pick him because he's the best. You can have the same framework. Establish yourself, activate yourself, get your authority strategy down. That way, you're positioning yourself for the future. Anything is possible. The magic is in you. You have to activate your authority. It doesn't just fall out of the sky. This is a strategy you can employ. So, just to recap, we write books. We have a magazine. And if you're interested in the magazine, let me see if I have it here. Yes, I do. You can go check us out. You can check out the magazine, see the articles, which are stories from people that surround themselves with the person on the cover is the key person of interest. The 20 people that we put, that they get selected to be in the magazine, get coached every week for 12 weeks. So you're in sync with this framework. You have those focal points. You have clarity. You have energy, courage, productivity, influence. They just don't fall out of the sky. This is a framework that works on Brendon's book, High Performance Habits. The high performance habits are actually right here: clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. Those are the 5. You master those, you're on your way to a high performance lifestyle. And that's possible with you being the authority, taking the framework, getting your book written, getting in your magazine, being on the cover, selecting your 20 people, working with the key person of influence strategy, and you can win. I want it for you, and I hope that you will activate your authority, because the future is bright, and you're going to need sunglasses if you activate your authority. So be bold, make a difference, and have fun.